All right, I'll tell you how I make sure that I introduce dogs safely. Oftentimes, when we're introducing two dogs, it's not that one of the dogs doesn't like dogs. It's that one of the dogs doesn't like dogs that acts like an asshole, and the other dog acts like an asshole. And first impressions are important. So like if you got that happy-go-lucky doodle that just has to meet and bounce all over everybody, oh, there's a chance somebody's gonna kick his ass for that. But he's just trying to play. Yeah. You and I go to the beach together, and I'm so excited to be at the beach that I'm gonna go give everybody at the beach a hug. As soon as I run away, you look at the person standing next to you and go, $50 says that dude's about to get punched in the face. So how do I introduce dogs? Starters, I don't. Not until they are utterly bored with the idea of each other. So wherever you're gonna do it, keep the dogs on leash, use tethers or kennels to have the dogs in the same area with each other, but unable to interact. If your dogs are excited by the presence of another dog, pulling and lunging and trying to get over there and ignoring your command, then absolutely do not go introduce those two dogs. The energy's wrong. The emotions are wrong. It could go wrong. This requires a prerequisite skill set of being able to have a loose leash. It'll be much harder if your dog can't do that. Some people will tell you to take a walk together. Yeah, that's the same idea. And it's the next step after we've just become utterly bored with each other. Then after your walk, they're bored of each other. They've been ignoring each other and they're kind of tired. When you get back to the yard, keep the leashes on, but drop them. Short ones if you're in a fence, long ones if you're not. Once you've decided to let the dogs actually meet, for the most part, stay out of it. You're gonna screw it up. Trying to create a relationship with anybody is difficult enough without somebody else going, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Now, if one of your dogs is kind of being a jerk, the other dog's allowed to tell him to fuck off. Now, if you know that your dog can't tell another dog to fuck off without sending him to the vet, just skip this. It's not worth it. But if one dog tells the other dog to knock it off and the other dog refuses to knock it off, then it is your job to make the other dog knock it off. If you can tell the dog, do that. If you can use your body to do pressure in between the dogs, do that. But if you decide like, I gotta pull these two dogs apart to make sure that this doesn't get out of hand, be decisive. Grab the leash and go. Move with your feet. Do not put pressure on the leash and leave the dogs right next to each other to respond. And if you run into that moment where both the dogs line up right beside each other and get fairly still, don't grab that leash. Hold your breath. Cross your fingers. Because if I've seen 1,000 times, 501 times out of 1,000, those two dogs are going to explode into play. Add leash pressure, you would drastically change the odds. And like so many things in life, taking a little extra time to do it right, you're gonna make it sizably easier on yourself. If you want a well-trained dog because it makes it easier, or you need help with the mess that your dog's in now, click the link in my profile.